Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Stepping Up to the Plate. So glad you could join us. I'm your host, Michael Vega, with so much to discuss now that the Sox are back home at Fenway Park and cooking again, cooking with gas, it seems. And the team is back home, enjoying the friendly environs of Fenway Park. And we've got the Patriots ramping up now with a intramural or inter-squad joint practice with the Philadelphia Eagles, which is going to ramp things up a bit for several members of the Patriots, including A.J. Brown, who played for the Eagles last year. And so it'll be interesting what comes of that. And then, of course, you've got, I think, the playoff race is starting to take shape a little bit. Teams are making some moves still. And then you've got exciting news out of the Red Sox. Roman Anthony, yesterday down in Portland, 1 for 2 with a colossal homer, clouded a colossal homer. And you know that they're all champing at the bit to get back, as my main man, Alan Prizzuti, is, to see Roman Anthony back in the lineup. Trevor Story, they're committing now to shortstop. I don't know how much they're going to get out of him over Monasterio, who's done a great job, Andrew Monasterio. But, Al, what do you like about what you're seeing from the Red Sox right now?
Well, I mean, it's really been a strange season.
Oh, my God.
Because if you want to look at how this team is really, I guess you could call it a juxtaposition. At the start of the year, they stunk.
Yeah.
Then they went on that streak where they couldn't lose, not stink or get good. They couldn't lose. Then they couldn't win at home. They were winning on the road. Last time they went out, they lost on the road, and they're winning at home. Yeah. So they're a conundrum in terms of what to expect. I think the pitching still is the key for this team.
Sure.
And Tolley been a terrific pitcher for them. I mean, he's almost become, without what's his name?
Crochet.
Without Crochet, he's become the guy
de facto ace
that you think can do it. And plus, he's a strikeout pitcher. You know, when he's up there in the high 90s, and he's very difficult, and he's a lefty. So
he had career high 14 strikeouts.
Yep.
Last time out. But the thing is that when he's on top of the count, when he's got you behind the count, that's when he does his most damage.
Yeah. I mean, I would say he's become the 2. I would think Sonny Gray, just because of the way he's a pitcher.
15 wins already.
Yeah, he's a pitcher though. I mean, he's not a flamethrower. He's a pitcher.
So is Ranger Suarez.
Suarez is more of a pitcher than a thrower.
Yeah.
But he's become 3 in my opinion. Tolley's become 2.
Yeah. Sonny Gray 1?
Oh, yeah. Well, right now, it would be Crochet, Sonny Gray, Toll, Ranger Suarez. That's pretty good foursome.
In your playoff rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. But, and if you get Crochet, do you bring him back in the bullpen and let Tolley, Gray, and Suarez go?
I don't think so. I mean, it would depend.
What about Brian Bello?
I know.
Hello.
Well, they've gotten to the point now where you can use Bello. If you got a pitcher that comes in on the 5th day, and goes a couple of innings, 3 innings, you've got 2 innings, you can bring in Bello.
Give you some long relief. Yeah.
So I think they got some questions here, though, because if Story comes back, he wants to be an everyday shortstop. He's such a streaky kind of hitter. Yeah. I mean, he might not hit. He plays a pretty good shortstop. But, what do you do with the team that you have currently? And, and then Anthony comes in. What do you do with Duran? It's not going to be Raphael or...
Well, I think that situation kind of cleared itself up a little bit when they had to put Masataka Yoshida on the DL. I think that kind of will be a perfect landing spot for Roman Anthony.
Matsuzaka has been interesting, though, because he's been pretty steady.
Oh, my God. Al, steady as they come. I love him. He always, when he gets up with runners on base, he's moving them.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I like all 2 of the 3 outfielders, they're streaky.
Duran, the most streaky of all. I think.
Well, Duran, no, has been down all season. I mean,
Right.
he's only hitting 203 or 202, so that he hasn't hit all year. He hits for a little power. Raphael, and just recently, has started to go for bad pitches. He had some plate
Expanding his zone, yeah.
He had some
Yeah.
plate discipline there for a while. He seems to have lost it.
Yeah.
Willer Abreu, in
I
my
think he's
opinion, is
dialed
the
in.
best overall.
He's totally dialed
Even
in.
though he's a streaky hitter too, but he hits for power.
Oh,
He hits in the clutch. He's a great right fielder.
I thought he and Yoshida had probably the sweetest power strokes on this team. Then you get Mickey Gasper come up, and he has a similar stroke as Yoshida.
Yeah.
You know, a real powerful short stroke, and he hits a homer last night in the 9-4 win over the Diamondbacks. But Al, what I saw out of Rafaela was the ability not just to hit for average, hit for power, but to put the ball in play, even by bunt if necessary, which he did last night. And you're manufacturing runs, and that's what I love. That's Al, good baseball.
Well, Contreras, 25 home runs. He's over there pushing, running, moving runners over the other night.
Good baseball.
That's
Al.
the manager, so I think they made a right move. I'd like to see them sign this,
Make him them.
solid.
I think he's done enough. I mean, he's managed his team through the maelstrom of that start, the upheaval of the firing of Cora.
Plus, he still knows the guys down in.
He knows all the
Whoa.
guys. And to my point, Al, the reason they've stayed afloat and succeeded is not just because of Chad Tracy and his familiarity with all the players down in the minors. It's that they had a pretty good minor league system.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about the pitchers that have come up, the acquisitions they made, and then you think about the guys they gave up to bring in, like an Adley Rushman.
Well, the guys that they still have. They got Franklin Arias. They got the kid up that they just moved from single A to double A up to Portland. I can't think of his name, but he's had 17. He's hit 17 home runs.
So they got guys coming up the pipeline that are still going to be exciting players to watch in the future of this ball club. But right now, I think it's kept afloat by the guys like, Durbin, Monasterio, Nick Sogard. I mean, those guys have been the glue guys of this team right now.
Well, they've become from no names to names.
To dependable names.
Yeah, well, Durbin's probably the biggest turnaround of anybody.
Have you ever noticed at the end of every game, without fail, Durbin has the dirtiest uniform? And last night, he did what amounted to the backstroke when he scored. Did you see that brilliant slide he made? And then he rotated as he's sliding, and he backstroked his way, and he hooked the way around the tag.
Well,
and the catcher totally whiffed on him.
Well, using a hockey term, he's a lunch pail kind of player.
No doubt.
And some of the other
No
guys, you got to worry about Story's health, because when he's hitting. But when he's only played in all the years he's been with the Red Sox half of the games.
Yeah. But let me tell you something. Caleb Durbin is probably being pieced together every game with duct tape. Between his pinky, between getting hit last night, and the way he plays. I mean, he's just all out all the time.
He's a fire plug. I mean, he's a,
he would be on Dustin Pedroia's team.
The interesting thing though was when he first came here, there were high hopes for him, and then everyone, what did we buy?
Yeah,
this kid is awful. I didn't even think he could play, for Woo, and then all of a sudden he turns around, and I think it was Werner was on, and he was talking. He said he called up the general manager of the Brewers, I think he came from, and he said, wait till you see this kid when he gets going.
Yeah.
And he said he was right. He's absolutely right. And he's a good third baseman.
Oh, everything. He hoovers up.
When he comes
He's
in
a
on
gold
the
glover.
ball,
Al, gold glover.
yeah, when he comes in on the ball and he takes that in his hand, once in a while he tries to rush the throw, but like everybody else, that's a hit unless you do
How many
a
double
really good
plays have they
job.
turned starting with him?
He's a good ball player.
Really good ball player, Al. You know what? And you've got, as a fan, you've got to be excited about the prospect of the postseason. Whether they win the wild card or they finish second or third in the wild card, matters not as long as you're in it.
Yeah, well,
As long as you're in it, Al. and because you can do damage from any number of positions there.
Well, with the pitching staff that they have, they get in the playoffs. They could beat anybody. Although, so with the Yankees, I mean, Yankees
aren't invincible, Al.
No, they're not.
They don't scare me. They really don't.
I don't know.
I mean, you're going to have an Aaron Judge who's going to be suspect at that point. The guys that scare me on that team really are the guys like Bellinger, Rice, those guys that
it's still Schlitter could
Cam Schlittler,
he could win.
Yeah.
Every time he's out there, he's a pretty decent pitcher.
But he's susceptible to like a clunker every now and then. I mean,
so everybody is.
The guy that I'm going to miss is Connolly early, because remember he pitched well in the playoffs.
He's a 3-4. That's all he is.
Thank you very much. I'll take him. But now he's with the Nationals, kind of falling off the map. I think a little bit.
He hasn't done anything. Yeah. So I mean,
and so it'll be interesting to see when the Giants come to town now.
Friday, I think.
And if Devers and Mayer are going to be batting back-to-back in the order.
I thought it was an interesting comment that Anthony made, because there was speculation that the two of them weren't as close as everybody made out.
Yeah,
and he said he's my best friend. He's my Malacca mate since I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
So for 3 years, he said all that stuff is baloney. He said, I call him every day. He calls me. He said, and I'm going to continue to be his friend.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I mean, they're cool. He's family friends.
He's got a pretty decent swing, Mayer. Mayer could surprise everybody. He was a higher draft pick than Anthony. Anthony's second round.
He was a number one.
He was the fourth pick and number one first round.
Yeah.
And Anthony was second round.
Yeah.
So, and in some respects, Mayer got more of a major league swing than Roman Anthony.
Yeah.
Now, Anthony might be a better ball player. I got to see him. He hasn't played enough to even make a determination.
He's got I think Roman Anthony has a Ted Williams-esque swing.
No, he's got a Yastrzemski swing.
Yeah.
He's more of a stand-up. Ted was more, no, not even close. He'd never be a Ted Williams hitter, just because of the way he stands.
Well, let me tell you,
could
if
hit
there was
for
a
average.
red seat up at Hadlock Field yesterday, he would have put it up there with the homer that it left the yard, it left the premises. Yeah. It was unbelievable power. Ow.
But I think that was in the minor leagues, right? Off of a minor league pitcher.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Well, you know what? That's pretty much what you're going to be facing in the playoffs here, because all these frontline pitchers are going down. They're breaking down, and you got to be calling up these guys. It's not like the NFL season where you reach the postseason and now you're playing against practice squad guys. But
it's like what it's funny because I do a lot of reading on Lee Trevino because he was one of my favorites. But he had something that I thought was really funny. He said yesterday actually about all these guys that are playing in these leagues, not the pro leagues, but the second leagues. He said all look pretty good until they get up against the big guys. He said, then you start to realize why the big guys are there and they were here.
Yeah.
And he says, it's almost like a minor league ball player who does really well and comes up to the bigs, and he's average.
Yeah.
Because they're facing guys who probably will never make the majors.
Yeah.
Infielders who never make so a base hit gets stopped by a Pedroia, goes through a second baseman that's in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
A pitcher who's number 3 will never pitch in the major. So it is very, very hard to judge. To me, years ago, minor leagues were used almost as a rehab. You got a guy up in the majors, he got an injury, he goes down, he plays 4 or 5 games to see pitches, to take some swings. Nobody was going, wow, he had 3 home runs against the Bananas. Who cares? When you get up to the bigs and you're facing guys like, even the other night in the Toronto game, what's his name? The pitcher, the spinner, Scherzer?
Dylan Cease.
No.
Max Scherzer. Yeah.
He's 40 years old. He still pitched a good game.
Yeah, 3,000 plus innings now in his career.
So you get up against a guy like that, and you get up against a guy, and I'll throw it out because Conley early, there's a big difference there. There's a guy who's had 19 years or 18 years of facing ball players who knows how to pitch
Yeah.
against a guy who's looking and saying, I don't know this guy who's coming up.
Right.
I mean, they do some work before the games,
Right.
but it's very difficult to judge these guys up against the bigs. It's just very, very difficult. And then there's guys that come up that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
I don't think Pedroia was ever, I mean, he played at ASU. I don't think he was ever considered to be the great ball player that
Or
he
an
turned out to
MVP?
be. An MVP.
Wow. Unbelievable. You never know, Al.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Red Sox have surprised a lot of people, obviously, after the start. But the big question is, who are the Red Sox?
Yeah.
Are they the worst team in baseball? Are they
And
the
Al,
best team?
the jury was out on Adley Rutschman because of, all the capital they expended to try to get him here, how everyone was so excited about him as a big trade acquisition at the deadline, and he comes in and he gives this lineup an immediate presence, but then he wasn't hitting. He wasn't doing the thing that they wanted him to do.
He's not a hitter.
Well, Al, that's become more and more apparent that, he's not that disciplined a hitter. And, I thought
They
wow.
gave up too much for him. in my
I thought
opinion.
so too. But then he has a game like last night.
Well,
2 for
I mean, he's
4
gonna
over.
have- he's
You know
gonna
what?
have
He put the
games
ball
like
in play. Smart guy. But what did they revere him for the most in Baltimore was how he was like a leader.
he was a
in that-
leader.
He was a leader.
But
And you know
the
what?
leader
You're gonna
in
need those
Baltimore-
guys.
Leader in Baltimore is a little different than being a leader in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Chicago.
Well, I think he's finding that out because when he was going through this little streak, he started to hear it. He started to hear the boos, the smattering of boos coming. So, but he turned the jeers into cheers last night in that 9-4 win.
Yeah,
He
well, the
goes 2
home
for
run he
4.
hit would have been maybe
A pesky pull job. Yeah.
I mean, that's no
okay.
home run to
It's not a Wilyer Abreu no doubter for sure.
Contreras.
Mickey Gasper was a no doubter.
Even that
straight away.
Yeah,
Now.
I mean, some of these guys. You look at Cedeno Raphael.
Oh.
He's not that big of a guy, but when he hits a ball, he can hit it.
Caleb Durbin.
Well, Durbin's bulky.
He's a powder keg, man.
I don't think I'd want to see Durbin after he's had a few drinks walking down the street or something. You get in his way.
Well, it's interesting, Al, that the Sox are breathing new life into this region. So are the Patriots, Al. Down at Foxborough, getting their work in.
One thing on Rushman, though, before I was
Okay.
reading Sunday, I think it was in the Globe. It might have been the Globe. Jim Lomborg talking about when the Red Sox brought in Elson Howard.
Yeah.
He said, and I'm not demeaning Gibson and all the guys who were the catchers.
Yeah.
But when Elson Howard came in from the Yankees with all that experience, and he said, made me a better pitcher.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think Rushman's ability to call a game is more important than to hit. Because I'll be honest with you, when what's his name, the kid, the last one they got with the Mookie Betts, the catcher, Connor Wong,
Yeah.
when he gets hit on, don't forget a couple of years ago, he hit a lot of home runs.
Yes.
He's not a bad ball player. If you look at the end of the year, what Rauschman's numbers are going to be, and Connor Wong, if they played 120, 30 games,
Yeah.
the only thing that Rauschman's going to have more than Connor Wong is home runs.
Yeah.
But short of that, he's a better catcher.
Yeah.
Calls a better game and probably better in the clubhouse than Connor Wong.
No
so
doubt.
that's an upgrade,
Yeah.
no matter
Well, yeah.
what he hits.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought. His presence in this lineup.
But I don't
is
think it's a game changer. The game
Yeah.
changer for the Red Sox,
well.
as far as I'm concerned, was Tolley, because he's been very steady. And Sonny Gray. Nobody ever thought Sonny Gray would be 15 wins and leading the
Right.
American League in wins.
How about the bullpen, Al?
And the bullpen. Aroldis Chapman has kind of dropped off a little from where he was at the start
He
of
could
the
be
year.
overused now, Al.
Well, there could be a
I
number
think they're
of
protecting
reasons.
him right now.
But I will say I'd rather have Aroldis Chapman in the ninth inning leading by 1 run than anybody else.
Yeah. My concern about that is their overuse right now. It's leading to some people
Maybe.
breaking down. Like
He works
Garrett
out like a
Whitlock,
maniac,
you
though.
know.
He's a huge guy, muscular.
This new guy that they got, Eric Miller from the Giants,
Yeah.
he's going to be interesting too, and I'm sure he's going to be anxious to face his old team,
Yeah.
when they get up here. But Speaking of facing his old team, you think A.J. Brown down in Foxborough right now is amped up to face the Eagles in this joint practice and then the preseason game?
I don't know. It's funny because I think he always wanted to be here. At
Yeah.
least he said he wanted
Since
to
a
be
kid,
here.
he wanted to be Patriots.
Here.
Yeah.
So I think that, when you get traded from a team kind of in a surprise, like Maya
Yeah.
getting traded, I think he wanted to be here.
Yeah.
That's a little different than always wanting to play for San Francisco and getting traded to San Francisco, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing things out. That's what I think what the Brown situation is. I think that, again, preseason to me is just watching guys that I don't know and see how they play.
Yeah,
you don't have
that's
May in there all the time.
And the tough thing is that, you go out and you take a look at your depth pieces in these games. The problem for the Patriots, especially on the offensive line, is that they lost two of them in the first game.
Which we're going to kill them.
They lost two guys in that, and now they had to bring in new guys in. I'm not sure, where they're going to fit in, but now you got to expose your frontline starters a little bit. And you know what, Al? You want to get them in the game like today, like against the Eagles. You want to get a good barometer of where they're at, as a group,
I think Brable did I think DeVito could be a decent backup.
Yeah.
And the more you play him now, I think is a good thing because May could get hurt. We've seen it. And, and then in games where you're up 27 to 10 in the fourth quarter, I would throw in
the guy who has put himself in the crosshairs is Borregales, the kicker.
Yeah, well.
He came in, they drafted the guy.
Yeah, what's his name? Wanted to kill him.
Oh my God, Mike! If looks could kill, Borregales would be.
Well,
good thing that wasn't a road game. That good thing that wasn't a road game, or he'd be walking back home.
Yeah. Well, anyway, those were high number of field goals. Those were 52, like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like he was missing the 37-yarder.
He was errant on that last one that would have won the game. If he just aimed for the right post, that would have drawn. It looked like he hit a Scotty Scheffler power draw or power. He needed to fade that thing in there, but he didn't.
So I'll watch the game tomorrow night, but it's not going to be. I'm looking to see who else other than Brown, who steps up, who's quarterback, how the offensive line does with the new guys that they brought in.
Yeah.
That's what I think Vrabel's going to be looking at as well. And, so in a short period of time, you've got the Bruins coming up and you got the start of the NFL season.
Yeah.
So then hopefully the Red Sox are still in there.
College football is going to be upon us soon too, Al.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's like where does summer fly by?
Yeah.
It's
funny thing about Boston, though. I mean, Boston's a funny town because it's never been a college town.
Yeah.
It's always been a pro town, because we've had them all. We've got the Patriots, the Red Sox, the Bruins, and the Celtics. And BC was never Notre Dame, Ohio State, Nebraska,
no.
Texas.
Maybe for a while they thought they were during Doug Flutie was around.
But never. I mean, it's interesting because when you look at the Midwest, I want to say Midwest, you could also throw California.
But when you talk about college hockey, I mean, you're talking Hockey East, you're talking a Beanpot, you're talking,
but you've got
Jackie Parker,
you've got
Jerry
Minnesota,
York.
You got Minnesota, you got Pitt, you got Michigan. You got some great teams out in that region, close to Canada, near Chicago and all that stuff. But hockey's is big in Boston, always has been big.
College hockey too, yeah, always. Yeah.
But that's a little different though because, the Bruins they moved that season up to 84 games.
Yeah.
I was surprised at that.
I know.
I think it's too many games.
And the other thing that Boston's been known for in this region is golf, Al. We got the FedEx Championship going on. Scotty Scheffler throwing down, telling everyone that, hey, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. with a convincing win.
Playing
in the
with one of
first-
his best friends. And Sam
Sam
Burns,
Burns,
is a terrific player, though.
Yeah.
He's a great putter. The only thing is he gets a little creaky in the fourth round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's always been, I guess, the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Not the finisher.
And it's too bad because
Well, I mean, think
good
about
player.
having to play with Scotty Scheffler. You're chasing him, and then he's just pulling away from you. He's firing at the pin. He's making his putts.
Well, it's like Burns said, nobody was going to beat him Sunday.
No.
I mean, because
He was the only person who's going to beat him was himself. Yeah.
I mean, he was putting lights out.
Yeah.
That's what was killing him recently, and how he hadn't won consistently like he won Sunday. I mean,
Right.
when he's putting and hitting those 15-footers, I mean, I played the other day, 15-footer, then ends up a 7-footer coming back, which is a 3-putt. So, I mean, you can't beat
A lip out.
These guys never 3-putt. I mean, when 50 feet, they get tap-ins.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're
Well, that's what they're knocking it up there. They know how to putt. But and then Al, get this. LPGA comes to Boston next week with the FM Championship down at TPC Boston. Will you be partaking?
No.
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 I'll tell you what,
I played.
I learned a
course
lot when they played over at Canton in the Blue Hills. And I went down there to watch. And what I loved watching was I watched them practice.
Yeah.
And just the beautiful tempo that they played with, and that stayed with me. And and I kind of ingrained that.
I watched that, and it's kind of interesting in a way because you see all of these. It's a mix. There's a lot of diversity on the tour with Asian, Japanese.
Yeah.
When I say
Koreans.
Asian, Koreans, Chinese, they're not big. And yet they're hitting the ball 320 yards off the tee. I mean,
They've got their swing
I'd stand
down
next to them and probably block them out. And yet I could never hit the ball like them, even when I was 20.
And that's the thing. I mean, when I was standing there at the practice tee at
That
Blue
could
Hill,
be talent.
at Blue Hill, where I know you spent many times, but they would just carve up a little piece of that turf on the grass, and it was consistent. And I was like, wow. And I just sat there watching how they took that club back the same tempo, whether it was a short iron, mid iron, driver, what have you.
Well,
And that left an impression upon me.
the thing that I see more watching pros, and I play enough golf that when you watch them, they take the divot in front of the ball.
Yeah.
So they hit the ball almost in the half, like the ball's here, they hit it here. But then the club goes down after the ball.
To spin it. Yeah.
When you're up at the club, and I've been in a lot of clubs, very seldom do you see guys, most guys are pickers.
Yeah.
They pick it off.
Right.
They don't hit it down like that. And that's why these guys are so terrific.
And that's why I need to spend more time at the range.
Well, the range doesn't help. I go hitting the range, I'm fine. And then I go out the first hole and I dribble one.
Yeah.
Well, when I try to do what these guys do, I kind of just plunk it. I don't hit it. It doesn't do what these guys do. They're just terrific.
Yeah, they are. Well, who's terrific? My main man, Al Prizzuti. And thanks very much to him for being with us. Thanks very much to you for spending your time here on Steppin' Up. We'll see you next time. All righty, take care.